Benayah is a figure mentioned in the biblical scriptures, particularly in the Old Testament. There are references to other individuals named Benayah, in addition to the one we will explore in this video. However, today we will focus on one of the most prominent warriors in the Bible, Benayah, the leader of King David's army. Benayah was the son of Joab and belonged to the tribe of Levi, specifically to the family of the Kohathites. The Levites played significant religious roles in the Old Testament, including service in the tabernacle and later in the Temple of Jerusalem. Joab, Benayah's father, was a Levitical priest, meaning that Benayah came from a priestly lineage. Benayah is a character mentioned in the biblical scriptures, especially in the Old Testament. You will find references to other individuals with the name Benayah, aside from the one we will explore in this video. Today, however, we will talk about one of the most distinguished warriors in the Bible, Benayah, the commander of King David's forces. Benayah was the son of Joab and descended from the tribe of Levi, specifically from the family of the Kohathites. The Levites played crucial religious roles in the Old Testament, serving in the tabernacle and, later, in the Temple of Jerusalem. Joab, father of Benayah, was a Levitical priest, which means that Benayah came from a priestly lineage. The name Benayah has a meaning and origin related to the Hebrew language. In Hebrew, Benayah is the combination of two words, Ben, which means son of, and Yah, an abbreviated form of the name of God, Yahweh, or Jehovah. Therefore, the name Benayah can be interpreted as son of God or one who is the object of divine mercy. It is worth noting that many names in the Bible have symbolic and spiritual meanings, and Benayah encapsulates the belief in the importance of the relationship with God, serving as an expression of faith and trust in the sacred. Benayah is cited in the Book of Chronicles as someone who accomplished remarkable feats in battle. His most prominent quality, as reported in the scriptures, was his courage and bravery in combat. One of his most impressive feats was the defeat of a lion in a pit on a snowy day. Facing a lion, one of the most fearsome creatures in nature in a confined space, required exceptional bravery. These courageous acts of strength and skill helped shape his reputation as a legendary warrior. This story is narrated in the book of Samuel. Now, Benayah, the son of Jehoshaphat, was a courageous man from Cabul, recognized for his great deeds. He defeated two Moabite warriors. At another moment, he descended and faced a lion in a pit on a snowy day. Furthermore, he overcame an Egyptian, a man of great beauty. The Egyptian wielded a spear, but Benayah, armed only with a staff, approached him, took the spear from his hands, and killed him with the opponent's own weapon. These extraordinary acts of bravery and strength made Benayah a hero and an admirable warrior in the courts of David and Solomon. His accomplishments, especially the defeat of the lion, are often cited as examples of courage in biblical narratives. The specific moment when Benayah became a warrior and ascended to a prominent position in David's court is not described in the Bible. It is likely that he demonstrated his courage and skills in battles or challenges over time, winning David's trust, which led to his appointment as commander of the king's personal guard. David was known for valuing and rewarding bravery and loyalty, and Benayah had demonstrated both qualities in his actions. Benayah's connection to a priestly family may have been seen as an advantage, as it could provide a balance between religious and military functions in David's court. Benayah was not just a commander, although he is often referred to as the leader of David's personal guard. His skills and his role in David's court, and later in Solomon's court, were much broader than the simple position of commander. His rise to these prominent positions was a direct result of his demonstrated capabilities and his unwavering commitment to his king and his kingdom. He represented a hero who embodied courage and dedication in its purest form. In addition to being recognized as a brave and loyal warrior, Benayah also took on leadership roles in the court, which included supervising other fighters and carrying out important orders. Therefore, while he is frequently designated as commander, Benayah had a broader and more influential role in the military administration and leadership of the courts of Kings David and Solomon. The true depth of Benayah's loyalty was challenged during a critical moment in Israel's history when David faced a rebellion led by his son Absalom. Absalom turned against his father, King David, attempting to usurp the throne of Israel. The episode that tested Benayah's loyalty occurred during this revolt when David fled Jerusalem due to Absalom's rebellion. Benayah remained loyal to David and accompanied him in his exile, showing his unwavering loyalty throughout this journey. After that, during the confrontation between David's forces and those of Absalom, Benayah persisted in offering his support to David. At the climax of the conflict, when Absalom was captured by David's troops, Benayah was among those who supported the king's decision to execute the judgment on his rebellious son. This crucial moment in the narrative of Israel highlighted Benayah's loyalty to David, demonstrating that he remained steadfast alongside his king, even in times of crisis and betrayal, which serves as a testament to his firm devotion. His commitment to David and the kingdom was clear, and his fidelity in adverse moments marked him as a true example of loyalty. Another circumstance illustrating Benayah's fidelity occurred when Adonijah, one of David's sons, attempted to proclaim himself the new king of Israel. A conspiracy formed around his rise to the throne. He gathered followers and organized a feast where he declared himself king, even without his father David's consent. Adonijah's action created a chaotic and potentially dangerous political environment, as it challenged the royal succession that David had planned, which aimed for his son Solomon to ascend to the throne. In this scenario, Benayah's loyalty stood out remarkably. He remained faithful to David and to the king's plan that aimed for Solomon's succession to the throne of Israel. Benayah chose not to join Adonijah's conspiracy and refused to support Adonijah's self-proclamation as king. His steadfast dedication to David and the kingdom reinforced the king's desire to follow divine will regarding the royal succession. Adonijah's action in declaring himself king challenged the established line of succession that David had set and put the kingdom's stability at risk. This maneuver by Adonijah caused internal tensions and divisions, as some followers and leaders supported him, while others remained loyal to David. The political situation became extremely critical, with a significant risk of armed conflict between the factions supporting Adonijah and those backing Solomon, the successor chosen by David. Facing the threat to his authority in the royal succession of his son Solomon, David took decisive actions to ensure the realization of his plans and the continuity of the Davidic dynasty. He publicly declared Solomon as his heir and successor, and a consecration ceremony was held to ratify the divine choice. Additionally, David instructed Bathsheba, Solomon's mother, to act with prudence and determination to ensure the protection of her son. The outcome was the ratification of Solomon's choice as sovereign of Israel, while Adonijah witnessed the collapse of his usurpation attempt. The dramatic events that subsequently unfolded helped to strengthen Solomon's reign and ensure the continuity of the Davidic dynasty in the narrative of Israel. Adonijah's story illustrates how succession to the throne was a fundamental issue in ancient Israeli politics, and how loyalty, along with divine intervention, played a crucial role in determining the next monarch. Some prominent figures in David's court saw their prestige diminish, one of whom was Joab, the commander of the Israelite army. Joab, who had demonstrated loyalty to David in numerous battles and military campaigns, had his fidelity questioned as the power transition unfolded. Initially, Joab did not align himself with Solomon's succession, as he had supported Adonijah's attempt to become king. This support for Adonijah was viewed as a sign of weakness in his loyalty to David and the Davidic dynasty, and his willingness to follow the candidate not chosen by David placed him at odds with the divinely ordained plan. When Adonijah's conspiracy collapsed and David publicly announced Solomon as his successor, Joab realized that his support for Adonijah had been a strategic mistake. He found himself in a compromised position and, to retain his status and avoid retribution from Solomon, sought refuge in the tabernacle, clinging to the altar as a symbol of protection and mercy. Joab's gesture of grasping the altar illustrates how tumultuous and unstable the situation was at that moment. However, after ascending to the throne, Solomon ordered Benayah to execute Joab as a measure of justice for his prior loyalty to Adonijah and his inconsistent support. Joab's downfall exemplifies how intrigues and ambitions during the power transition led to shifts in loyalties and reaffirmed the authority of the new monarch. Following Joab's execution, Solomon appointed Benayah as his military commander, highlighting the trust he placed in Benayah's capabilities. Benayah took on the responsibility of leading the Israelite forces under Solomon's reign, and his appointment symbolized the enduring loyalty and skills he had demonstrated throughout his career. His journey, which included heroic deeds during David's reign and his leadership under Solomon, showcased his dedication and impressive abilities as a warrior and leader. With Benayah's promotion to the position of commander of the army, the narrative continued to reveal his unwavering loyalty to Solomon. He dedicated himself to the Adonijah, requested the hand of Abishag, one of David's concubines, as his wife. This request was perceived as a move to claim the throne, as in the culture of the time, marrying a king's concubine could be seen as an assertion of power. Adonijah, failing to learn from his brother Absalom's previous failure, followed a similar path. His defiant action led to further turmoil and division within the kingdom of Israel, endangering the government's stability. This prompted Solomon to take measures to neutralize any potential threat posed by Adonijah. Consequently, Solomon ordered Benayah to execute Adonijah, effectively ending any significant challenge to the royal succession and consolidating his own reign as the legitimate king of Israel. Adonijah's execution by Benayah demonstrated the latter's loyalty to the new ruler and his commitment to preserving order and the continuity of the Davidic dynasty. By following Solomon's command, Benayah reaffirmed his role as a loyal commander and executor of royal decrees, regardless of the personal impact such actions might have. His exemplary conduct as a military leader and his obedience to royal authority were essential in maintaining order and the king's legitimacy in Israel. Moreover, Benayah played a crucial role in the execution of Shimei, as instructed by King Solomon. Shimei was notorious for having cursed King David in the past, during David's escape amid the rebellion of his son Absalom. Later, Shimei begged David for forgiveness, and David agreed not to punish him, provided he swore never to leave Jerusalem. However, after David's death, Shimei violated his oath and left the city. This was interpreted as a breach of his commitment and a threat to the stability of Solomon's reign. Consequently, Solomon ordered Shimei's execution for breaking his vow, and Benayah was entrusted with carrying out this order, which he did, demonstrating his loyalty to the royal authority. Thus, Benayah was responsible for the execution of Joab, Adonijah, and Shimei, fulfilling the commands of Kings David and Solomon to maintain stability and order in the kingdom of Israel. His actions reflect his fidelity to royal leadership and his commitment to enforcing royal decisions, even when these involve executing individuals. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and click on one of the 2 videos that will appear on your screen. I'm sure you'll love it. Take care and stay with God.